My name is Karen Friendship. I'm Managing Director of a business in Plympton called Alderman Tooling. We are metal fabricators. We do all sorts of laser cutting, punching, folding, drilling, machining, and even powder coating. We have quite a comprehensive range of big machines here in the factory and quite an extensive lot of processes that we service the whole of the southwest region. We serve quite a few diverse customers, so right from marine companies, retail, shop fitting, enclosure market, rail sector, anybody that wants a bit of metal, we will be able to quote them. So Aldermans is a family-owned business. We've been going over 50 years. Luckily, I'm not that old. My father started the business in 1969. And I was appointed managing director in about 2005, having been with the business for about 8 years. But before that, I did have a previous education and career background in something very, very different. I did the best I could at all the subjects that were obviously laid in front of me. But I did feel more personal enjoyment out of the sciences and the maths. I used to always enjoy Lego and putting things together as a child. And so I chose maths, physics and chemistry at A level. I guess, my father must have given me some of that DNA genetics in there to make me aspire to those subjects, as did my sister, in fact. I wanted to go on to do a degree. And I wanted also to choose something that made me employable. So I chose engineering because it did roll up into a lot of physical attributes, a lot of calculations, a lot of working things out. And I like to make things and build things. But at the age of 17, 18, when I was just coming up to finalising my A-levels, there were so many engineering disciplines. I was then really fortunate to be able to be offered a week-long course during my A-levels to go on an insight course for girls into engineering. And one of the tasks was a bridge building competition, and we were put in groups of teams. And we had to build a bridge out of balsa wood and lollipop sticks. We actually won that little competition, and I was, that really inspired me. So just because of that one little competition, I decided to do civil and structural engineering at university. I also applied at the same time to look for sponsored employers that would help me financially and obviously through work experience through my degree course. And I was really fortunate to have got a couple of interviews and successful in getting one placement with Devon County Council in the engineering design group. After that, I qualified in about 1995, got my successful degree, went to work for this engineering design group. So I started working at the Devon County Council in the engineering design group within about 2 weeks of graduating. I think I did manage to sneak in a small holiday and put on a graduate placement, which was actually a fantastic opportunity. It allowed me to move through departments in a very big structured organisation and gain experience from lots of different people. Quite a few of them were female engineers, so actually that really inspired me to see that it can be done and that I wasn't breaking ground trying to do the job that I really wanted to do. I moved from the county roads section. I spent a placement in the bridge office. I spent about a good year out on site, so hard hat, flak jacket, doing surveying, and that I really, really enjoyed that outdoors bit, and seeing things really change from going from one to the other was just really, really motivating. So the journey from a predominantly engineering role into more management did kind of feel a bit natural for me. I joined the family business in 98. So actually 3 years after I'd been in employment, my father asked me to come and join the family company. In the end, he kept badgering me, and I decided to take 2 weeks of annual leave, and come and work for him for 2 weeks just to find out what he wanted me to do. So I joined the business in 98, predominantly as an account manager, just looking after shop fitting retail accounts for Arcadia Group, and we manufactured all the metalwork shop fitting equipment for Burton Menswear, Dorothy Perkins, Evans Group. And I had to quickly get up to speed with this new company, with my father watching over me as well, and also making sure the factory was making things in the right order, that I was doing takeoffs from drawings, I was liaising with concept designers in London. And actually that was a fantastic, really versatile job, but a lot of it stemmed around people. Back then, obviously, I grew that account over first few years of being here. And then realized actually as a business, we didn't have the structure that my previous employer had. We didn't have, just that structure of HR, health and safety, pay reviews. And so I kind of naturally lurched into management by trying to fix these problems. So I kind of then moved into that management role, taking responsibility for the company and trying to improve us really. And that's where my journey of management started. In terms of barriers for me, I didn't feel like I had many barriers. I wasn't told I couldn't do something. But I do know that out there is a lot of barriers and confidence levels. And I've come across many, many ladies that don't have as much confidence. I think as females, we do sometimes lack confidence. So we'll always look at the things that we can't do rather than the things that we can do. And especially in recruitment, I think, chaps will look at a job description and say, yeah, I can do 90% of that and go for it. And a lot of women will say, I can only do 60% of that or 80% of that. I can't do that job role then. And they won't try and put themselves forward and have a go. And I think that comes with confidence. That comes with maybe some positive female role models, maybe your family around you. But I think, if we can break down those barriers and, look to other ladies and female mentors, then I think that will help break down a lot of those barriers. And for me, I don't see myself as any different. I probably would say, firstly, don't worry. I think ladies do fret a lot about the what ifs. I think if you can be inspired by other female mentors around you, that's fantastic. I also think that ladies together sometimes can support each other. So that I know there's a lot of female networks that give support, and there's something very trusting about doing business with another female managing director or another business. And there's lots of barriers that you can break down. But in terms of just doing general business, I think, I would say don't worry about, your career path right at this stage. Just try and be the best you can be at every year that you take on. The next qualification, the next little journey, the next little step. Don't worry about the big picture. There's a lot of jobs out there that once you get inside a business, there are a lot of opportunities that open up. So I would say one of the biggest things that I've learned is be keen. Volunteer yourself for those job tasks that maybe it hasn't been asked of you. Volunteer for doing that seminar or attending a training course. Every day is a school day, and I'm still learning myself. So, you can learn an awful lot from your peers. I do a lot of networking as well. And I would say, they are mostly male groups. And I learn an awful lot from listening to them. There's no better way of learning from someone else's mistakes than trying it yourself. But, just don't worry about making mistakes. Pick yourself up. You'll get as much knowledge out of making a mistake than making it right the first time. So, ask for help, speak to your peers, speak to your female peers. And just generally have a go. Don't lose that confidence, because you are your own inspiration and you can be whatever you want to be.